I really think the best way for women to get sex, if they like it, is in a relationship or alternatively pay to play, okay? I do not think that women benefit from hooking up. I think that women in general have sex with men that they like or that they would like to see again, maybe that they would date. And there are many men who are that way too. They're not into hookups. But there are many men who have a very high libido and who just love women. And there's nothing wrong with them. It's just more likely that a man is going to enjoy a woman's company for an hour, a couple hours, and then want to get her out of there. And I know this because I had to learn the hard way that even the greatest guys, the most sensual guys, they can have sex and just walk away. It means nothing to them. So, this is a question that I think we as women should ask ourselves, and we have to be really honest. We have to understand that this is what men can do. After you have sex with him, okay, now you don't know if you'll ever hear from him again or not, okay? If you hear from him again, that would be great. But what if he's bad in bed? Then you may never want to hear from him again because he could be really bad in bed. But if you had sex, and the sex is amazing, let's say, and you never hear from him again, unless, of course, he hits you up last minute for his next booty call late at night or because he's in the neighborhood, would you say, this guy checks all of my boxes? Because to him, you do. That's something I wrote on my Twitter the other day. And I added, there's a reason that men will pay for that. They're not that choosy. They can enjoy a woman for an hour or a night and not care if they ever see her again. There's a reason men enjoy casual sex and women generally do not. We are different. I accepted this years ago. And they're not that choosy. They're designed to be less choosy. Now, again, I'm not speaking of all men, but many men, very sensual, caring, good men, and they'll be very passionate with you and attentive while you're having sex with them. And then after they release, they're just really not that interested anymore. Now, if you have sex with a guy and after he comes, his first or second thing he says to you is, when can I see you again? That doesn't mean he's down for the booty call, you're that amazing in bed. That means he likes you. That means he likes you. That means this is probably going to be a relationship. This could be even marriage. After the guy comes, if he says, when can I see you again? He likes you. In my experience, I've never had this go wrong. Because usually after sex, if it's just casual, they'll just banter and, oh, I'll hit you up, or whatever. Yeah, every boyfriend I had after sex, they said, when can I see you again? Another way you can tell if a guy wants to marry you is he's not just spending time in the bedroom, he's taking you out a lot. He wants to experience the world with you and show you off to the world. He's pretty quickly introducing you to his parents, and he pretty quickly commits to a relationship, and he starts talking about, oh, I want to get married someday, I want to have kids. He starts using language like that. And this only works if the guy has his life in order. He has a good job, he's going places, he takes care of himself. He has a dog or a cat, he has a good job, he has his life in order. If it's just some ragamuffin, introducing you to his parents means nothing. But a guy who has stuff going on and values himself, he's not going to just introduce anyone to his mom. He's not going to commit to just anyone. He has options. So you want to look for a guy who has options, and he should be taking you out, introducing you to his parents, making a commitment, talking marriage. And after sex, he asks, when can I see you again? That is kind of what I would sum up as indicators. Now, if a guy doesn't call you back, he's just not interested. That's it. We have to accept that. A lot of dating is very hard because most of dating will consist of getting your heart broken. Most of dating will consist of you going out with someone who you're just not that interested in. They're disappointing. Like, why did I even go out? This person's disappointing. They're boring, they're ugly, they're fat. We have nothing in common. I don't feel anything. Or, even worse, oh my God, this person's so awesome. This person is so great. This person's so hot, so interesting, so exciting. I could see us having so many things in common. But this person has no interest in me. Or you. That's even worse. So, number one, the person's boring. Number two, the person's exciting. They think you're boring. That's what most of dating is. There's nothing wrong with you, but that's what most of dating is, actually. Disappointment, a lot of disappointments. You have to be willing to overlook that. If you really want a relationship, you have to be willing to overlook that. And then once you're in the relationship, you have to be willing to deal with the disappointment. Because all people will disappoint you. Even your pets or your children, you will want sex when they don't. You will want them to go somewhere with you when they don't want to. They'll want to talk to you when you don't want to talk to them. Maybe they chew too loud with their mouth open. When you first meet someone, everything seems great. But once you live with them, you will see their annoying habits. Maybe it's stinky after they go to the bathroom, and that's a turnoff. Maybe they don't like sex the way you do. Maybe their decorating style is completely different. Maybe you like to live in the city and they want to live in the country. Maybe they like to play rock and roll and you're more of like a blues fan. Maybe they like to eat meat and you prefer seafood. You don't like meat. Maybe they like cats and you prefer dogs. There are so many ways that people will be disappointing in the relationship. So a lot of dating and relationships is about being disappointed and handling disappointment. This is just what I think. It's not going to be always disappointing, but it can be disappointing 10 or 20% of the time. You have to be able to deal with it, not mind it too much, stay connected. But when you're just having pay-to-play situations, you're just with someone for a few hours, there's no disappointment, there are no hurt feelings, there are no expectations other than enjoying the moment, And that's why I think that women shouldn't hook up, because men will pay to play. You don't have to play for free. They will pay to play. They're willing to, not all men, but many men. And so there's no reason for women to go around doing it for free, because we don't benefit from that. Like I said, starting up with this video, I will repeat it. Be honest. After you had sex, if it was bad, are you going to be like, I'm so glad I did this? But the chances are it's going to be bad. But let's say it's really good. After you had sex and it was really good, if you never hear from him again, or he only hits you up last minute for his next booty call because he's in the neighborhood, or he's been thinking about you late at night at 11 p.m., would you say, this guy checks all my boxes? Because to him, you do. You check all of his. Be curious what you all think of this video, and I will be back for the comments.